you see me, a 15-year-old millennial, standing on the stage, giving you a talk, and studying in an international school in which not many people can afford. And I ask you a question: if you could predict the type of phone that I would have, what would it be? For many people, they would either say, oh, it's an Apple, or it's a Samsung, or it's a Huawei, Asus, blah blah blah. In other words, what they are saying is that it's a smartphone. You know, it must surely have a touchscreen interface and the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. And for members of the audience, if you have a smartphone, can you please raise your hand? That's almost every single one of you. Well, believe it or not, I have a Nokia. A Nokia, when I said these 4 words to my friends, it was just like you. They had the same reaction as you, but also harsh comments and criticisms. You miserable loser. Why can't you have a more useful life? You know? Why don't you just be a normal life like anyone else? How old are you? 80 years old? 90 years old? And to be surprised, I wasn't angry. You know? It was normal for me because, especially in 2018, smartphones are becoming more prevalent in our society. In fact, smartphones are becoming much more of a culture to us, especially in the current generation, the millennials. And I knew that these people would have a similar mindset, and anything other than smartphones would be considered a taboo. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a remarkable story on how I came to this decision that I would buy a Nokia. And there are 3 main reasons why I bought it, and it's based on the personal things that I encounter every single day. Firstly, the library. In my school library, you know, it's an amazing library. Picture me walking into the library, you know, there's thousands of books, and you see 80 to 85% of the students doing this. They are on their phone, and it's ironic because they are at the library. And then I said, you know, what are the books here for? You know, to provide knowledge, skills, dispositions that we'll be using when we grow up. But for the past few months, I've only seen 1 or 2 students picking up a book from the shelf. And then it struck me because I realized that we are losing the fight against digital addiction. And then I was surprised because every single one of them had a similar action. Scroll down, like, scroll down, like, scroll down, like, non-stop. And I felt like we were robots, you know, instead of humans. And then I said, you know, why do we spend so much of our attention devoting, you know, wealthy and perfectly seeming strangers on Instagram and Facebook, comparing our lives, our appearances with their appearances, and at the end, fueling our own insecurity? And audience, think about this. Why should you care about which fictional character fits your horoscope? Why should you care about arguing over a trend that you only understand superficially? Why should you care about the amount of likes, the amount of comments that you receive in your photo that nowhere resembles you in reality? Why should you care about scrolling down, looking at unnecessary posts while you have more important issues dealing with yourself as an individual? And then I said that these days, who you are is based on the amount of followers you have on Instagram, whether you play Fortnite or not, these kind of things. It's no longer what do you like to go, where do you like to go, what is your personal hobby. It's not like that. And I want to deliver a message saying that who you are, your identity, should not be based on the likes, retweets, comments, shares, tags. Nothing of them. It's the non-digital validation of yourself. Who you are in reality, not virtually. And have you ever wondered, why is there such thing as a like button? Why is there such thing as the tag button? Because you see, I found out that Facebook was founded in 2004, but the like button came into existence in 2009. Well, the reason why these kind of things were created was to increase our time significantly on that social media platform. And I felt what was supposed to free us is instead enslaving us. So think about this. Are you using social media, or is social media using you? Secondly, dinner time. I'm sure you are very familiar with this situation. No matter where you go, to the dining hall in your school, or you go to a luxurious restaurant, anywhere, you sit on a table with your family, and you look at the table next to you, and you see the whole family doing this. Are you familiar with that situation? Perhaps it's a stranger, perhaps it's a friend, perhaps it's a family member, perhaps it's you. And we are lacking physical interaction. We are ruining the art of conversation. Yes, but aren't smartphones supposed to make communication easier? Yes, it makes communication easier. But does it make communication better? The answer is no. A study in 2012 showed that a few pairs of strangers, some pair of strangers had a smartphone, and some pairs of strangers had a notebook, and they were told to interact with each other, chat, have a conversation with each other. After the conversation, they were asked to rate their chat, and the ones with smartphone had less positive remarks. Why? Because they thought that the conversation was less meaningful. And another experiment was done. About 5 students in a nature camp. They did not have any access at all to social media. They did not have any access to any technology. And then, during those 5 days after that, there was something surprising. They were so much better at recognizing non-verbal cues, hand gestures, body language, and all the others. And what about social media is that it is not liberating us at all. As I said, it's enslaving us. And the main thing about now I'm speaking is about human connection. And interaction is something fundamental about our life. You know, ever since we have been evolving, we have always been communicating. But now we are under a threat. Because even I experience it as myself, you know, sometimes I have problems, I want to discuss it with my friends, you know, but they are always on their social media platform, they are always on their phone. And nowadays, we should do something, we should take some measures to reduce our time being spent on our smartphones. You know, you have 24 hours a day, try to sacrifice at least one day, taking a rest, putting your phone on flight mode, and just pursuing a hobby, you know, go outside, go out of your comfort zone, don't be confined to a certain area from morning to night. Thirdly, and this is something, I'm going to give you a clue, I won't tell you the exact word, so this is what it is. I wrote down a routine, I'm going to do my work at 7 o'clock. And when it comes to 7 o'clock, it's okay, I'm going to do my work at 8 o'clock. And then when it comes to 8 o'clock, never mind, I'll do my work at 9 o'clock. And the next day is the same thing again and again. You know, you're killing hours of unproductivity. And you know what I mean? Procrastination. And I really love this quote. Procrastination is like a credit card. You know, it's a lot of fun until you get the bill. And it's true. Procrastination can kill productivity. I have experienced it as myself. When I want to revise, you know, I'm always so distracted with that buzzing noise, you know. I always have the temptation to just grab that phone and look at the next notification. And then I said, you know, I want to be a better person. I want to just stop using smartphones, just buy a normal Nokia phone, just to call and just to message. And to be honest, it was one of the best decisions that I have ever made in my whole life. And there are a lot of factors why I chose to do this. As I said to you, physical interaction. I found myself better, you know, in verbal communication, non-verbal communication, in every single thing. The list goes on and on. Improving my memory capacity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's so many I can say about it. And so for everyone, you have friends, you have family members, and think about this, okay? Your phones have replaced your camera, your alarm clock, and your calendar. Don't let it replace your friends and your family. Thank you.